Hello there, welcome to this channel. My name is Carolina Mar, and today we are going to talk about the consequences of the eclipses. So I invite you all to subscribe and share. We are going to talk about a little bit these consequences at what is the predictions for the world, and then I am going to be making another video where we are going to talk about these same issues, but in terms of our personal life, maybe our personal changes, okay? Today we are going to see a little bit what is coming for the world in terms of these big events, okay? And we have to think that the eclipses are so important because they bring big changes, big changes where we are getting a new path for the world, for the humankind. So a lot of things that we are seeing happen, a lot of things that we are seeing all around the world with violence, and the structures that are falling down because of the changes that we are going to be living, going to the next step with Pluto going into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So we are going to start with this magical energy of changes and movements. Maybe these are going to be painful changes, but we have to find a way to adapt to this new energy and to this new world where we are going to be living, like we have to find ways to adapt to this energy and to transform ourselves in the middle of this kind of changes, because this is so strong. And I think that for real it's important that we think about the changes that we need to make in our own individuality, and then find ways to adapt to the circumstances that are happening around us, okay? So we had the first eclipse that was in Libra, that was a solar eclipse, and happened in the sign of Libra. And I made a material in my other channel that is in Spanish, but I will tell you a little bit about that. The eclipse in Libra is like, we have to think that Libra is the sign of Venus, and Venus is the planet of peace, the planet of conciliation, or maybe agreements, ways to find peace, and this is happening. The eclipse in Libra happened with the South Lunar Node. That means that something is closing, something is ending in that aspect of the peace, of the conciliations, of the agreements, of the pacts, and in Libra we have the opposite complementary, that is Aries, and Aries has to be with the leaderships, and also the leaderships that wants to command without asking permission, so it's a strong energy. And we lived that eclipse in the 14th of October, and that I think is a point where we are going to be living a moment of all the countries, and like all the things that maybe were in some kind of silence right now is going to be moving, and is going to be confronting different points of view and sides of the situation and the circumstances that we are seeing all around us. So the solar eclipse really was like an ending that's the way I see that, is an ending of the peace in the world, okay? And I think that is starting a period where the confrontations and the threats, you know, and all the differences are going to be on top, on the daily news, on the daily basis, and is going to be a really complicated time for all of us, no matter where you are, because all the countries are having their own revolution, like connected with the big revolution that the humankind is going to suffer right now, okay? And now we are seeing in the screen, okay, the eclipse that we have the 28th of October, and I am going to be analyzing some aspects of this eclipse so you can see this with me, okay? We have here Pluto that is in the sign of Capricorn, okay, and is in the critical degree, and that is Pluto is direct right now, okay. He been retrograding, you know, and now is direct for these moments of the eclipses. And I think that is not something, you know, like, I don't know, some random thing. It's something that is specifically for one reason, and it's that Pluto is the energy, the most strong energy of death and transformation. And what is transforming Pluto is the structures, okay? Capricorn in world astrology represents the governments, the administrations of the country, you know, the leadership also, and these structures are falling down, okay? And as you can see here, Pluto is making a square with the sun, okay, and the axis of the eclipse in Scorpio, okay, the opposite point of the eclipse in Scorpio, and also is making a square right here with the moon that is conjunct with Jupiter, okay? So this is talking about two important things, okay? The first thing, we have to understand that the moon is talking about not only the people, the societies, okay, I mean the population, okay, but also it's talking about the weather and and all the consequences of the climate change, okay? And the moon connected with Jupiter, this is talking about that we are going to see a lot of big disasters in terms of the weather and nature that is going to be speaking out loud for the world to hear. Also, we have to understand that this eclipse is happening, okay, in Tauro, and Tauro is a sign of Earth, okay, and conjunct with Jupiter and in the square with Pluto in the critical degree. This is talking about earthquakes. This is talking about disasters, that maybe the floods, maybe we are going to see these big hurricanes that are going to be like destroying everything where they are having the path, you know. So I think that all the world, we have to be really watching this kind of events, because we are going to have a lot of news of big disasters, especially I think that earthquakes that are going to be really big and really strong, and they are going to be destructing everything, especially structures, big structures, you know, like we can see a lot of earth, you know, like when we have the floods and the earth is falling down, you know, and these situations, maybe we are going to see a lot of structures falling down because of these kind of events, you know. And also we have to understand that this Pluto in Capricorn is talking about that the structures, the leadership, the administrations of the country, you know, kind of the foundations that we have right now in the pillars of the the leaders, the leadership that all the countries are having right now, this is in a square with the moon, and the moon, like I said before, is the population, is the people, is the citizen. So everything that is falling down up here is going to be affecting directly in a big stormy ways, okay, because it's conjunct with Jupiter, and Jupiter is the big expansion of things, okay, and the consequences are going to be affecting mostly the people and the citizens, the population, okay. Also, we have to understand that Toro and the axis of Toro Scorpio in astrology world is talking about the finances, the economy of the world and the countries and the societies. And as I said, like Pluto is destroying everything, and this is affecting mostly the economy, the quality of life, the resources, I think the food, all the resources, the natural resources that are for the people, and mostly we, the citizens, are going to be living these tragical events in these moments, okay. Also, we have to understand that Scorpio is talking about the access of maybe taxes, debts, all these kind of things, and all the relationships that some countries have with another countries, and the situation and I don't know, maybe the situations of leaders that are going to be asking for the pays, so this is going to be complicating a lot the situation of the resources, the quality of life, and I think this is going to be affecting also the big enterprises, like maybe banks are going to be in a bankrupt, so I think this is a moment where we have to be expecting big these big names, of economy that are going to be falling down in this period. And we have to understand also that this the energy of an eclipse is moving for the next 9 months, 1 year, it's not something that happened that day. Maybe we have some things that happened that day, okay, because we see a lot of disasters in different countries, but we have to understand that this is a process, okay? Always when we talk about astrology, we have to think about the process, okay? Okay. Also, another thing that is really important here is that we have the axis in a Scorpio. Scorpio is the ruler of the 8th house, and Mars is in a Scorpio. Mars is the ruler of this sign with Pluto. Okay, Mars is the old ruler and Scorpio is the modern one. But these two planets are agents of death, transformation, violent changes especially, okay? And Scorpio is talking about death and transformation, is talking about detoxing, like everything that is happening. But this detox is a detox that happened with a big storm inside, okay? And also Scorpio in astrology world talk about the cemeteries, talk about, people who can really be having a bad time, and is the era of, I think, we are going to see a lot of people dying in violence situations all around the world, okay? We also have to understand that yesterday, and this is not something that is casual or is random, we been in the day of the death, and the eclipse It's eclipse that is affecting the moon, the people, the societies, okay, and the relationship that they have with the leaders and the leadership, okay. And I think here we are going to see a moment where I think is going to be a really complicated and tragical time, because Mars is a ruler of the wars, and is kind of in a Scorpio. It's like Mars is twice is Mars, like twice is the power, like, and it's affecting, okay, all that has to be with Mercury. Mercury in world astrology is talking about I think is talking about the communications, is talking about all the relationships and commercial relationships in between countries. Is talking about also the traveling, the roads. Is talking about all these aspects of movement and transportation. And I think this is going to be like, we are going to be seeing situations, violence situations in these aspects, okay? And as we can see, we have the sun, and the sun in world astrology is talking about the leaderships, okay, the governments, all the people that is important. We are going to see a lot of people maybe like I said, falling down, like, but this is a sun that is in opposition to the moon, because this eclipse is an eclipse of full moon, and the full moon is closing chapters, okay? The chapters that we may be opened in April or May, in the season of Toro, and now we are closing those chapters. So some things are going to be ending right now, and I think it's going to be a big price for the citizens and the population, especially in the terms of suffering, maybe situations of violence, all that has to be with Mars. Mars is such a complicated planet, and in astrology world, Mars, where Mars is going, is activating things, okay? And maybe it's like Mars is letting the issue in some aspect, and maybe this is like kind of a candle that is already, lent, and we are going to see with time the effects of that, so I think this is going to be, like I said, a really complicated time for the world, for all of us, and is really something that we have to pay attention, because it's happening in the house of death, and the violent changes. And the sun is here. The sun, the leaderships are going to be activating these kind of conversations that are going to be violent, threats, all these kind of things, and all this attitude that these leaders are going to be taking from this point on are going to be affecting directly the people and the populations, okay? So complicated. This is a very, very complicated time, okay? We have to think also that we are in a moment where we have Chiron and North Lunar Node in Aries, and Aries is a sign of the leaderships. And as I said before, it's a time where the all leaderships are like having this wound of Chiron, and the North Lunar Node is talking about the moment where we are going to see new leaderships, maybe something that is needed to be done, like changing the way of the leaderships and learning about the mistakes and taking a new point of view with the circumstances that we are going to be seeing, okay? Also, we have to see here that we have the black moon, okay, Lilith, in Virgo, and Virgo is the health of the world, okay? It's talking about the working class, it's talking about the quality of life, the quality of the salary, it's talking about, not only the health, if we talk about something that is like the situation that we lived in 2020. This is also the health in a more expanded term. Like the health can be your mental health, your health in terms of the quality of life, okay? And the black moon is getting Virgo right now, and is going to be there for the next 9 months. And this is talking about that we are going to be really afraid, really scared. And I think the threat is something that the leaders are going to be using to control the people. And I think that a lot of people is going to be with fear of what could happen, fear of what could come, fear of if you can really take your, or if you can sustain your quality of life, fear of losing your job, fear of, fear of everything, because this black moon is waking up this side of every one of us, and for the humankind, okay, of the fear of not finding the way to go out of this zone, of this conflict zone that we are getting into, and is going to be getting really hard and difficult, okay? So this is not something, the black moon and the transit of the black moon is not something it's not something soft or something like minor to see, okay? And also we have to understand that this black moon is in opposition to Saturn in the 12th house, okay? In the 12th house is the house of the chaos, the house of the disorder, is the house of the attempts, is the house of crime, is the house of the all the miseries that are revealed, and Saturn enters, getting to Pisces in March, is retrograding right now, but we are going to talk about this week about Saturn direct that is going to be happening the 4th of November, okay, and how this is going to change a lot of things, okay? And Saturn wants to put some order where this disorder and chaos, okay, has been activated for the world, okay? Also, we have here Neptune. Neptune is the planet of the chaos in astrology world, so it's a very chaotic moment, especially in the 12th house that is already a place of chaotic things, the conspiration, complots, the threats, everything that I said before. And we have here Saturn that is recently getting there, recently getting force, recently starting this way, and Saturn will be intending to reorganize and put some order in some issues that are going to be out of control for the next 2 years. Saturn is going to be encountering Neptune at the end of 2025, okay, in the cusp of this of Aries, okay, and I think that could be a moment where something really, really radical is going to happen in terms of taking some control of all the chaotic things that are going to be happening in the world. Okay, so I will be making some videos about some specific countries, the European community, and also we are going to talk about all these things in terms of something more individual, more like for you to work in yourself, and how you can be in preparing your energy for everything that is coming for all of us. So I thank you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you all who can share. We are going to see each other really, really soon.